What is going on, guys? Ninja here. Today I'm going to be doing the top 5 games I was disappointed with. Whether these games were disappointing or just straight up worse than the last installment, they definitely deserve to be on the list. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. Coming into the number 5 spot, we're starting off with a pretty disappointing game of mine, Sonic Rush Adventure. When I saw this game on my birthday gifts, I thought, yes! I definitely gotta play this first, so I played it and I was disappointed immediately. I got stuck in the first level because we need to earn stones, which I never knew we had to in the first place, and the only vehicle I liked was the first one. Everything else sucked. The most disappointing parts were the levels. They were so boring. The soundtrack is so forgettable. Boss fights are also disappointing, but the main story cutscenes, are you kidding me? Do I seriously have to mash the A button all the time when I could just press the start button and skip it all in Sonic Rush 1? I was so disappointed in the game that I didn't get to the third world, and I had to revisit it in, 2018 just to see what was the rest of the game like, and I'm so happy I stopped playing the game immediately. Well, anyways, let's get off of this game immediately and move over to the next game on the list. In 4th place, we have Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Once I played this game after coming off the first one, which I really enjoyed, I figured, yeah, this is going to be better. I played it, and at first it seemed like it was going really good, but then once I've beat both stories, I was like, is that really it? Is that all we're going to get? And plus, it was just so boring after that. Like, the levels just really weren't that great, and I just wasn't a fan of it. Unlike Sonic Rush Adventure, I did play it for a few days and even a month, but then I realized, yeah, I'm going to play the first game, and no surprise, it turned out to be even better when I played the first game. But anyway, yeah, I was actually really sad, and I thought, well, if this game sucks, then hopefully my next game will be good, and that went an interesting route, but anyway, let's move over to the next game on the list. EA Sports at number 3 spot. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, moving over to number 3 spot, we have FIFA 14. When I heard my Xbox One was at home, I thought, yes, I'm going to get an awesome game for my Xbox One Day 1 edition. So what did I get? FIFA 14. And my mom was like, okay, well, it's not the game I wanted, so it's got to be an average game. So I played it and I realized, wait, it's only just realistic soccer as a game without any actual things that make a video game up. To make matters worse, I didn't even finish my first game and I immediately was disappointed. And yeah, I did play at my cousin's place where he completely crushed me because he's used to those games. Other than that, I was like, yeah, I hope Call of Duty Ghost is good, but surprise, surprise, not really. It sucked too, but anyway, let's move over to the number 2 spot, shall we? Booming down to complete disaster at number 2 spot, we have Boom Street. One of my birthday presents I got in 2012 was Boom Street, and at first I thought, yeah, this is going to be an awesome game. It has Mario in it. Of course it's going to be a great game. So, how loud is the starting intro? Well, let's see. You can skip if you have problems with, like, noise volume. No joke, that is exactly how loud it is on the Wii and Wii U. Yep, I did not modify that. That is exactly how it would appear on your TV. Yet, the main menu, like when you first get into the game, is much better. So I have to ask, why couldn't you do that for the channel and the Wii menu? Played it for the first time, I thought, yeah, this is awesome. Played it for the second game, and I immediately noticed, wow, this is the most boring thing I have ever played. No joke, it is literally so boring. Anyway, I played through the second game and I realized, yeah, I'm going to put this back on the shelf, never to be picked up again. And guess what? I've never played the game since. I went to school, did the right thing, and just said to everyone, no, this game absolutely sucks. And so, of course, everyone listened, but one person. One person said, "Oh, this game is awesome," and I said, "No, this game sucks. There's really nothing enjoyable." And he said, "Well, if there's nothing enjoyable about it, you can give it to me." And I'm like, "No, I'm not giving it to you. I'm going to keep it part of my collection." Thankfully, it wasn't any terrible argument. It was one of those mini ones that get solved in 10 seconds. But other than that, yeah, we pretty much knew our own opinions and just moved on like real people. Last disappointing thing about this game is you cannot play as anyone else but me. I was so mega disappointed about that. I wanted to play as Mario and everyone else. I don't want to just play as myself. Come on. Oh, but you have to play them in certain modes. Well, buddy, maybe can I actually play them in all modes? I'll be happy. Anyway, that is pretty stupid how they did that. But anyway, before we get to number one spot, let's go over some few dishonorable mentions. First dishonorable mention, we have Killer Instinct Combo Breaker. I figured, well, I haven't played the first Killer Instinct or really any of the old ones, so why not play this one? Played it, and after the second day I realized, yeah, this is not my favorite at all, and it was just too complicated. Plus it was a microtransaction, big money making crap, so I figured, yeah, I'm not gonna bother at all, so I just put it back on my shelf. Next up is Dark Souls 2, aka the worst Dark Souls in the franchise, and no kidding it is. Unfortunately, this was my first Dark Souls, so it left a pretty terrible taste in my mouth. I'm not even going to explain anything else besides just being a huge disappointing mess, and I'll have a link to my old video of me playing this for the first time in the description. Next up is Minecraft, and I was disappointed about this game. I was expecting it to be decent, but oh well, it just wasn't my type of game, so at least I gave it a try, and I know I'm going to expect someone to say, "Oh, but this is an amazing game," but I'm sorry, man, this is just not my favorite. But hey, at least I gave it a try, so that's something. Second last dishonorable mention, we have Lego Avengers. Once I got to the second half of Age of Ultron, I was immediately disappointed by what I experienced. I was expecting a really good title, because, I mean, Lego's made excellent movie licensed games. Look at Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Star Wars, so you would expect it to have the same treatment here. Instead, I was let down big time with boring characters, somehow worse than the main story of the Avengers story, which is a big letdown with stupid censored crap. If you want a good example of how to censor stuff in a Lego game, look at Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, not this game. Altogether, I can safely say now that this was not just disappointing, but a humongous letdown coming off of Lego's efforts. So, let's move over to the last dishonorable mention. Last one for the list will be Rise of the Tomb Raider. After a big success on my mind for Tomb Raider 2013, because I really enjoyed that game a lot. I liked the story and everything. I moved over to Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I was expecting the same thing. Played the first level, and I was immediately not happy with the story at all. Got into the actual level, like once you get past like the very beginning sort of cutscene, gameplay, those type of levels. I was immediately just let down by having to level up just to get all of the collectible items. Why? Why make such a restriction on an idea that otherwise should be rewarding? You might be asking, what about the weapons? Well, I'm sorry to say this, but they absolutely suck in this game. They're too slow and do almost no damage besides the crossbow. Anyway, the rest of the entire game was so bad. I just said, nope, I'm never playing this after I beat the game, and I did exactly that. Rise of the Tomb Raider, more like a rise to complete failure, definitely deserves the dishonorable mentions. Coming into the one spot, my hated LEGO game of all time, and also my most disappointing game of all time, the LEGO Movie video game. How can we make a good gaming year? I know how. Make a very terrible movie licensed game. That sounds like the correct path.
What the fuck were they thinking?
When I heard about this movie and I heard it was really good, I figured, oh, I should maybe check it out. But then I saw the game, I'm like, nah, actually, you know what? How about I play the game first? So I talked to my friend Josh Lechbar. He said that the movie was terrible, and I figured, well, must be just opinion, so whatever, I'm just gonna play the game. Wow, was it a big mistake because the game was absolutely garbage. The story started very cliche if you ask me, and okay, I thought, well, it's cliche, so it must be good in the gameplay. Played it, and no, it was not that at all. In fact, it had the worst combat I've ever seen in a LEGO game, period. Once I got to the second level where we play as the character, I really forgot his name on the front cover. I immediately was pissed off at that stupid everything is awesome song that I'm so not going to play because it hurts my bloody eardrums. When I got to the stage where you had to play as pretending to be robot characters of ourselves, I realized, wow, I've experienced the entire game and I was immediately disappointed. Plus, when I was playing and trying to figure out how to even beat the level itself, my parents and even my family said, wow, this game looks worse than LEGO Star Wars 1, and I totally agree. After beating the game, I decided I'm going to 100% this game and never pick it up again. I was immediately out of luck when I found out that 2 of the mini-kits were glitched. Yes, glitched mini-kits in a LEGO game. I tried looking up a guide on YouTube, and guess what? It did not help, so I was pissed off. So many game crashes and even bugs, softlocks, so on. I just had enough after I got to the 2 mini kits, which was where I ended up quitting. So then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna watch the movie instead. I watched it and wow, that was easily the worst kids movie I ever watched. Fun fact, the character Lord business, I actually made my own character called Lord Vex, which is an entirely different character altogether I made. The LEGO Movie game was so disappointing, it definitely deserved to be at the #1 spot.